Good morning. This is Win the Day. I am so glad you guys were able to join me. Thank you so much. I am Tanika D'Souza, the 100K Challenge Chick. So I'm saying welcome to all of you who are on YouTube. And my channel has my name, Tanika D'Souza, the 100K Challenge Chick. The podcast is also called the 100K Challenge Chick. And for all of you who are following me on Facebook, welcome and good morning. The entire point of Win the Day is one, to remind you to take advantage of every single day. They matter, they count, they add up. And before you know it, either you have accomplished something really great or you're looking back like, oh my gosh, this year is flying by and not much is getting done. So we're using our time together for Win the Day to be productive, talk about things that are really going to help your business grow. So the thing that I love is, especially on a Tuesday, I have just met with the accelerators on Monday evening. That's when we do our coaching, and some awesome things come out of that every single week. This week was super interesting because I should just say, had some technical issues. And we had to kind of restructure how we were doing our coaching session. So we did. It turned out to be a really, really great time of us talking about what our 90-day plans were. So I taught that skill, and then we moved forward in making sure that every single person had their 90-day action items and what the next steps were. So that's what leads me to today. How do you start when you're starting, right? What are 3 things that you can do if you are starting out, meaning you haven't yet got your first client, you have not yet consistently booked clients, you aren't even confident about how you're going to get that done. So that's what we're talking about today, because I actually did walk one of my accelerators through that process yesterday. And so I've kind of streamlined it so that anybody can use this technique, because it's 3 really simple points. So one thing I will tell you guys is, I am not a fan of you just hearing what somebody else did and just doing exactly that, right? But I think when you are taking some of those initial steps, you do have to follow what you are told and then customize, because maybe you don't know enough about how to customize and how to tweak things until you get the ball rolling. So I do want you guys absolutely listening to what I have to say, but I'm going to give you the general kind of bones to what is happening. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I see some comments popping up. I'm going to give you the bones of what you should do, and I want you to insert how this applies to your business. So what I'm going to tell you, or the story that I'm going to share, is what I know a lot of you deal with, right? You are out, not even necessarily in a networking way, because a lot of times if you know you're going to network, you think ahead about, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? So you're out and you meet someone, and in conversation, they're like, oh, what do you do? And here's your chance to introduce your awesome new business, or your business idea, or the business that you're just getting off the ground. What do you say? For most of us, we've thought about that. We have that sweet spot thing that we say, that, 2 or 3 lines that really helps somebody. Oh, wow, that's so awesome. And then what? What if they say, oh my gosh, that is so great. You are just amazing. Like, let's say you're a personal trainer. They're like, oh, wow, I definitely need to get in shape. And they just say it kind of in passing. What I'll tell you is, a lot of newbies in business literally get flustered. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. And it just internally is like, oh my gosh, am I prepared to take a new client? And, their brain starts going. So because the person didn't say, hey, you're a personal trainer, I want to book with you. Let's meet tomorrow. Usually what happens is that person makes a little comment like, oh my gosh, I could use your services. I'm sure you're helping a lot of people. and you just say, yeah, it's going great. And that's it, right? And then you walk away. And then later you're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely missed the opportunity to connect with someone who seemed interested and I did nothing, right? And then we kick ourselves. We're like, why did I do that? So here are the 3 things that you're going to do. You're going to figure those things out right now so that the next time you find yourself in a situation where you meet your ideal client, whether you spark the conversation, whether they pull it out of you, but once it gets to the point of you sharing what you do and them being interested, you're going to have these 3 things done and you're going to be able to book a client. All right, let's get into it. So what are these 3 things? Number 1, figure out your time. What time do you have that you can dedicate to your business right now? So if I use the example of the personal trainer, when can you train? When can you train people? So I'm going to write notes just so that I can kind of keep up with this fake schedule that I'm about to make up on the fly, right? So let's say you are a personal trainer, you're a trainer, and you coach people, right? You literally like help them with their fitness. They meet you for workouts. Maybe now because of COVID, you do things through Zoom as well, but you have to figure out your time. So let's say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. you're open. And that means each day you have 2 hours that you could dedicate to the business for clients. And then let's give you some Saturday. So there you have Saturday, let's say 2 to 5. Okay. Well, you're a trainer, so you probably meet people early. Let's say 8 a.m. to noon. So you have the most hours on Saturday. So now that you have sat and done the exercise of figuring out when you have time, it's there. You know when you can meet with people. That's the first thing you have to do, is figuring out your time. If you are a busy mom, if you are working a 9 to 5, if you don't have 6 hours during the weekday and 4 hours on the weekend, that's fine. Even if you have 3 hours total for the entire week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you really can only take a 7 o'clock appointment. And then Saturday, you could take 1. Like that's all you have right now. Perfect. Just know what you have. So first is figuring out the time that you can actually meet with clients. Number 2, what is the service and the price of that service that you can offer? So if you're a personal trainer, you can start generally. Just a 1-hour workout will cost, let's just say $50. Okay. You now understand it's 1 hour, $50. That's it. You can decide, I'm going to do all these different types of services in there until you streamline, like, okay, well, this service is cheaper, this service is a little more, whatever. You can later have more than one service. But for today, you're figuring out the time slots you have available. You're going to put it on your calendar. And you're going to figure out the one service that you offer and the price for that service. Okay. What a lot of people do is they go into business and they feel like, okay, let me consider all my packages and all my bundles and all the memberships that I'm going to offer. And they overwhelm themselves trying to figure out all these service options. What I'm going to tell you is you're going to be better off and more confident to start with the one thing that you offer, the one price point that you offer it. And that's it. You can then expand and grow your offering as needed. But for now, you don't have a lot of clients. So it's no point having a diverse offering in your services. One service, one price, and you already know what times you can offer it. And that is it. Number 3, what is the first step that your clients must take in order to say they are ready to work with you. So, in the case of a personal trainer, do you just give them a place to pay and to book their time? Do they need to call you? Do you still need to do like a 15 or 20-minute consultation? If you are in other service industries, does it absolutely require a phone call for you to understand what they need from you and to put them on your book? Whatever it is, you need to think through what is that first step that someone needs to take in order to become your client. So this is what you would think of, like if you handed out your business card, what are you telling them to do? Are you telling them like, oh, call me? Are you telling them email me? Are you telling them go to my website and fill out this form? Are you saying book a call? What is it that you're telling them to do so that when they take that action step, you know they are ready to work with you? The last part of that is I want you to be ready to do that with the person right on the spot. So, for example, if your first step is a consultation, you meet that person in the conversation. You say, oh, yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I train athletes, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, marathons are starting back up again. So I have already been working with people, but some of them are preparing for marathons in October and November. And I am starting their training right now. And the person says, oh my gosh, yes, I'm doing the rock and roll marathon in New Orleans. So I'm definitely interested. You say, great, let's book a consultation. Or you say, great, would you like to book a consultation? And the person could say, yes, let's do it. And you pull out your phone or you pull out wherever it is where you have your times that you're available to talk to people and you're available to train, and you book the time right there for you to take the next step with that client. So now you're not meeting people and then walking away and going, oh, I should have told them, or why didn't I do this? Now you know exactly what you're going to do, when you can do it, and what they need to do to say they want to work with you officially. When that person starts talking to you and they're like, oh yeah, I do need to run this marathon. I started looking at some apps, but I know I'm not going to be motivated by the app. You know, what do? Tell them your one service and your one fee. That's it. You don't need to offer 10 things. You don't need to impress the person. All they're looking for is, how are you delivering the result that I want? And you're going to tell them, you know, I meet with you twice a week for 1 hour and my sessions are $50. So you could just pay for a month at one time. Like, they didn't ask you how they can pay and all that in that very first conversation, but you could say, you know, we do 1 hour sessions twice a week. You know, because you figured out what your services were and your prices. So that's what I want you guys to focus on when you are new and getting started. Do not overcomplicate your business. A lot of us see people, like even for me as a business coach, oh my gosh, what I want to do with my business is huge, right? And COVID kind of forced me to rein it in, but it was so perfect because I started just the same way that I advise others to start. All you could book with me was personal coaching. I sold packages. You had to buy 4 sessions, because what I found was when I sold one session, somebody would buy the one session, then they would buy the next session 2 weeks later, and they weren't getting the result because we weren't meeting weekly. So I would figure out what they needed and we would meet weekly to get that done. I would kind of break down what they needed to do in about 4 steps, and we would work through that over their 4 sessions. So they just paid one price, 4 sessions. And if we wanted to continue working together, they would then pay the next month. So that is what I offer: one-on-one coaching at one price, but you purchased 4 sessions, because I realized after only selling one at a time that I should sell 4. And then I changed it from, oh, you can buy more than 1 month at a time, because some people came and they're like, I'm launching my business, I'm doing this. And I knew they needed to focus on getting that coaching. So I'm not going to allow you to doubt yourself after 4 weeks. I would sell you 3 months. And the minute I opened up for 6 months, I had like 3 people buy it instantly. And I was like, let me stop, because I might have to restructure some things. But it's up to you how you grow and scale your business. But I'm absolutely going to recommend you just do the 3 things I said. Figure out how much time you have for your business right away. So put it on your calendar. 2, what is the one service and the one price point that you offer right now, that you can offer right now? And then 3rd, what is that first step? And I want you to set up how you're going to do that. So think through in the consultation, what are some things that I have to learn about this person? What are some things that I really want to communicate to them about my business? And making sure you do the appropriate things, like take a payment and book the session. So book the session and take the payment for it, so that you can then begin working with your client. So I hope that helps you guys. I hear stories every day of how people are missing their potential clients because they are not prepared. So now you are absolutely prepared, because you know the time that you have, you know the price point, you know the service, and you know the first step. And you're going to be absolutely excited to help that person get to that first step, where they're making a commitment to do something on the journey that they are choosing. And they're choosing you to be the solution. So have the beginning planned out for them so that it can start with ease. So I'm super excited to hear how you guys are doing that. If you are absolutely starting your business and this has been helpful to you, I would love to hear how you're going to put this in place. So sharing, like, this is going to be my service, and this is the first step that I need people to take, or I've looked at my calendar, I only have 3 hours. Whatever it is that you learned, whatever aha moment you had, or what are you going to do next, I would love to hear it. So drop it in the comments if you're joining me on Facebook. If you are at any of the other channels, YouTube, you can absolutely comment there. And on the podcast, just follow me on any of the other pages. But I would love to hear how you guys are going to confidently start winning your next clients. You guys have an awesome, great day. Thanks for joining me. I am Tanika D'Souza, the 100K Challenge Chick. We are going to move our businesses forward, you guys, and I appreciate you joining me for Win the Day. Have a great one. See you soon. Bye.